Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports. It is December 9th, 2021. Kind of crazy to say. I know we do that pretty much with every date, but wow, it's December already. We got a bunch of listener questions from the gallery, and I went through Facebook, our little Facebook group, which I like our Facebook group. They chirp us a little bit, but for the most part, they're friendly. There's friendlies in there, if you will. And I snagged a few questions that they posted in there, unbeknownst to them. So we got plenty of, again, kind of listener-fueled topics to get to today. We also have this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States of America, we will have Pacific Dunes, episode 2 from our Abandoned Dunes travel series. I believe Links Gems calls this the greatest publicly accessible golf course in the country. It's spectacular. It's on the ocean. It's sort of as classic Abandoned Dunes as it gets. A lot of the photos that you see, a lot of the promotions from Abandoned that you see come from Pacific Dunes, Pack Dunes as the locals call it. So be ready for that tonight. And then we've got the Arizona Bowl, the Scramble. We're all going to be there. We're going to be on different holes. We're going to be fucking with people, hanging out, having a great time. We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, an extravaganza. And if you go to barstoolsports.com/Arizona Bowl, sign up for the Scramble. It gets you into Putt Punk. It gets you to live shows. It gets you into the football game. And obviously a great day on the golf course with us in Tucson. I just saw, by the way, Tucson, ASU, #1 ranked party school in the country. So Tucson is going to be a good time. I've never really been to Tucson. Have you guys been to Tucson much?
No,
Anybody?
but I feel like they've been holding that title for a long time. Arizona State, if it's not #1, it's #2. It's always up there. And you really can't like have better branding than that. Like to have your school be the #1 party school in the world. So, but I have not spent much time in Tucson. I've actually not spent a single second in Tucson. So,
only thing I know about Tucson is in Get Back. Jojo left his home in Tucson, Arizona, for some California grass.
I don't know the words, although
Thank
I'm
you.
watching
That
that
was kinda
documentary
well
right
done.
now, and it's
You got
fantastic.
sneaky vocals in there.
He's a little musical boy.
But I've crushed Get Back almost twice now, so 16 hours of that documentary on Netflix, on Disney Plus.
It's so good. Are you guys watching that at all?
No.
No,
Oh
don't
my
even know
God.
about it.
It's the Beatles, and I'm not the biggest Beatles fan in the world. I like some of their music, but I'm more into the idea of the Beatles than their music. And this is just like found footage of them making an album, and it's a documentary. Frankie can describe it far better than I can, but basically, it's not a type of documentary where they cut to interviews or they cut away the whole time. It's basically raw footage of you watching the Beatles try to come up with an album and a performance. It's really, really good.
Who's your guys' favorite Beatle? Who's your favorite Beatle?
Ooh, it's tough. It's
I like George.
Yeah, it's probably Paul McCartney for me. He's just so
Paul McCartney for me.
They're all incredibly talented, but Paul, he's just got this he's got something in him, man, that he knows the drums, he knows the guitar, he knows the bass, he knows the riff of the voice. I mean, they all do, the vocals, but fuck, man, he's something.
I feel like Paul too. Paul like rode the wave the best and has navigated the Beatles fame the best to this point where he's now like Sir Paul McCartney, and he does these interviews and he kind of dabbles. I think he's like, did he do? I feel like he's done stuff with like Jerry Seinfeld. He's just sort of done a lot of the things that you need to do to continue to kind of elevate himself, and he's like in the proper fame space as an old man. And he's just done the whole thing right.
And they went on to create the Wings too, which was a very, very successful band. So
I actually think today is the anniversary of John Lennon's death.
It is. While
they were recording.
Is it really?
Right.
Yep. So
it is crazy
41
that
years.
all that talent is so local. Like they were all. It's just crazy that they all came from the same spot, pretty much.
fucking around in Liverpool together.
It's just insane. It's great.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was the title of the docu because we watched just a little bit of that the other day, but I was like, oh, I want to watch more of this because it's all in like perfect color too, right?
Perfect color, HD, like 4K visuals for some reason.
It's crazy how that's
somehow.
possible.
I don't know how they like recorded all the audio of all their conversations. Like that just must back then when everything was on film and like and tape. The fact that they recorded 60 hours of these guys just coming up with they recorded every conversation, every lunch, every breakfast that they had. It was crazy. So
so good. Shout out to Ringo, man. He was just kind of there. The other guys were fighting and going back and forth, snipping at each other. You could feel like it was the end, and Ringo was like, "I'm just here, man. I'm a Beatle. I'm the drummer. I'm just here for the ride."
It's just scary how quick they can come up with that Let It Be album. And like just if you like music, you don't have to love the Beatles. If you like music and the idea of creating music and how people, the thought process behind coming up with a song, just watch this documentary. Watch Paul McCartney sit there and learn, get back to himself. He's just strumming on the guitar. Dun 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 dun.
He has a seizure, it looks like,
and he's just like no 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 no. He's like, oh, that sounds kind of nice. And then you're watching it and you're like, holy fuck, he's coming up with one of the greatest songs of all time. Like, he does that with Let It Be too. They're all discussing where they should go for the live show in the corner of the studio, and in the background you hear the chords to Let It Be, and you're like, is that fucking Paul McCartney just hitting some chords on the piano? It's about to be one of the greatest piano ballads of all time.
It's really good.
Stunning.
Really
stunning.
Good.
So
I'm excited to watch it.
Little plug for those guys, the Beatles. They need it.
They do need it. Yeah, if you haven't heard of them, check them out. They're good. We were talking about partying earlier. Party Schools, Arizona Bowl, Transfusion, Barstool, Transfusion from Owens. All right, Owens Mixers. They're one of our great partners, have been for a long time now, as you know. But, again, I'm going to remind you, I'm going to throw it in your brain to go to Amazon, go Puff, go into a local store, go to owensmixers.com, figure out where they got these puppies. The Transfusion you can figure out. And they got a bunch of other flavors as well, a bunch of other mixes that you can pour in. If you somehow get sick of a Transfusion or you want to mix it up, no pun intended, you can go check out their other flavors. They got a margarita mix. I've been on a little bit of a margarita kick, margs, lately. It's just good. I like to mix up instead of going from vodka to tequila too. You obviously got to change up your drink a little bit. You can do a Paloma if you are a lurchy-like fella, a big baritone-voiced person. You're not very musical, right, Lurch? I'm not no. musical either.
I played the trombone as a kid, which is very fitting.
You are a trombone. You're just a walking trombone.
Pretty much.
You just breathe?
Pretty much.
You don't need an instrument.
4th and 5th grade band. Well, everybody did the recorder. Then I think I took a stab at piano, fail. I mean, anything in the arts, it was pretty much a fail. My mom was pretty much an art teacher. It was just I wasn't part of the mix. So then I did the 4th and 5th grade band, did the trombone. Slugging that thing on the bus every day was just a joke. And thank God when that was over, because I think everybody, the teacher was happy too when I stopped.
You're just not very audibly pleasant, I would say.
Perfect for a podcast.
Yeah, great for podcast. You're a handsome fella. You're very athletic, but I don't think audio is not your strong suit.
No, I'm tone deaf. I would say 100% tone deaf.
Anyways, Owens Mixers, if you are mixology deaf or whatever, then they got you covered. So go to owensmixers.com or just go order this stuff, Amazon, all kinds of good places. All right, we have winners to announce as well. So we, of course, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we're rocking all kinds of merchandise right now. I think we got 3 different hoodies on this show that are Barstool Golf, a couple different hats. So people bought a bunch of merchandise. We appreciate it. In order to both boost sales and to reward our loyal listeners, followers, purchasers of merchandise, we offered up a few different items. You can have a full day playing golf with Frankie and Trent out of Long Island. Go to Borelli's. They hope you're not a crazy person that's going to stab and kill you. So they have a winner for that.
That didn't happen, yeah.
And then I put out that there's going to be 2 different winners that can go and stay 3 nights for free at a little home in Pinehurst, North Carolina, one of my favorite places on planet Earth. I forgot that we were going to announce a winner, so I don't have mine yet, and it's actually going to be a nice little way to force you to listen to the rest of the show because I'm in process. I have the full list, but I have to randomize and pick out those 2 winners, and I'm going to announce those in a little bit, so you just have to listen to the show. But Frankie and Trent, I believe you guys are going to announce your winner right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Can I get a sound effect in post of a drum roll?
Did we notify this person at all, or are they finding out right now?
They're finding out right now.
Okay.
So we randomized however many people. The drum roll should still be happening. It should be gradually increasing as I speak. I want a dramatic moment for this person, the winner of golf with Trent and I, and then Borelli's eating like kings with cannolis and the whole thing. My dad will bring out a nice dessert platter, and we're going to have drinks with the family. Maybe there'll be an Islander game on. Who knows? So the winner of that contest, spending $100 or more on Cyber Monday, Anthony Testy. Woo! Anthony Testy, wherever you are, You got to make it to Borelli's. You got to make it to whatever golf course we end up picking out.
And Testy gets to bring a friend, right? So
and Testy gets to bring a friend. So the last name, little play on the male genitalia.
Is that a reason why? One of the reasons why we picked it? Maybe.
Well, it popped up.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got a randomized list, and one of them was Testy.
It popped up in the name, and we said, "Yep, that's it. It's the balls. It's the ball sack." So Anthony Testy, you're our guy, and we are going to play some golf, and we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some drinks. Thank you to everyone that supported. I mean, it really was a random pick, so everyone had a chance. And we're going to do a lot more of this stuff, specifically with the Barstool Golf Time app, the Tee Time app. I want to start doing stuff with that where we're the #1 person on there with the most reviews and the most photos and all that stuff can come to Borelli's, play some golf as well. So there's going to be a lot more chances to interact with us, play some golf, hang out. So Anthony Testy, Tony Testy, Tony Ballsack, you're the guy. And that's it. We're going to be playing some golf.
It's going to be fun.
Yep.
And did you do any scout of Anthony Testy? Do we know where he lives? Did you know any information? So still a chance that he could come knife the two of you and leave.
Absolutely. No chance. No, we have no idea of what's going to happen.
We're playing the odds. And we talked about on the last show that, like, again, most of the people we meet are very normal. So we're just hoping that we got one of the normal ones, which I think we probably did, but we really don't know.
I hope so.
Right. Also, no guarantee that he's a listener as well because he bought on Cyber Monday. So
no guarantee that he's a listener, a fan. Like, who knows the things that he said to us on social media? You know what I mean?
Love Testy. I am very excited for this.
Yeah, no, we'll see. It should be exciting.
That's true. I didn't think that he might not be a listener, so he might not be finding out right now.
Well, someone tell Anthony Testy wherever he is. If you know an Anthony Testy, if you know a guy that you've called Tony Ballsack for your entire life, you let him know that he just won one of the greatest contests ever offered on the Foreplay podcast.
Correct.
Congratulations, Testy. I've got Alex and Allison, our heroes on the merchandise team. They have the full list. They're randomizing now, and they are cross-checking, obviously, to ensure that everything is legitimate on the winners for my prize. So I'm going to announce those in a little bit. And then I also want to, which I just came up with in my head, I want to send them, and we'll do this for Testy too. We'll give it a few days so that they can find out via listener, and we can have that fun little interaction. But we should send them like Masters-like invitations via email.
Absolutely.
It would be really nice little touch to them. Yeah.
I like that.
For
And
sure.
they can share it on social media. Now we're doing we just get the whole car wash of the promotion, which is beneficial to
and
us.
you can put together like what we're going to eat. You can kind of have a list of what it's going to be, what Borelli's going to offer, the menu. Yeah.
Rigatoni and nocina.
Oh, boy.
I like that Trent was like, you could do the thing where you kind of display what they can eat, where you like list the options that you can maybe eat.
Usually it has like the prices on there. And
what's it called?
They sometimes have a kid's version.
Sometimes it's laminated. Menu.
How about this B logo that our merchandise team came up with, by the way? This little B with the cross T-bone.
That alternate logo is strong, man. We've always tried to come up with some sort of alternate logo because our logo sometimes gets like outplayed or it's just a little bit too much. And then, we were thinking about an animal. Should we pick just like a random is it like a chipmunk or a squirrel or a deer or something? And then they just sent us a B with 2 T's under it, and just the style of the B, it reminds me of Borelli's, to be honest, like the script that's on the front of Borelli's.
Yeah.
And then just 2 T's, which are just kind of like G4 style. Fucking awesome. Just, it works, man.
It's simple. And we always want simple.
It just works, dude. It's fucking simple. And that top left chest corner of the hoodie, it's clean. It's not too much. It's not in your face. Look out for more merch with the B and the T's. What do we call it? Like the TBs? What are we calling it?
We're calling
Skull and Bones? No,
I don't know what we're calling it. We've just been calling it the alternate logo.
we got to come up with a name for it.
Yeah. We'll think of something. TBs is not what we're going to go with, by the way.
I remember, too, that we got it on this thing, which is cool.
The towel. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's that little gift box, man, that thing's a really good gift. I took a couple home for myself for giving out on Christmas to some friends and family. And that's just, everything's so nice and compact. It's an accessory box.
What are we looking at there, Riggs? For an audio podcast, what are we looking at in the box?
So it's an accessory box.
This is one of our accessory boxes that I believe these are in like the PGA Superstores and Golf Galaxies of the world, but a bunch of people bought these on Cyber Monday as well. Now I'm kind of doing a YouTube display, which, as you are correct, Lurch, it doesn't really help our many thousands, hundreds of thousands of audio listeners to the podcast. So I have this beautiful box that's got a golf towel. It's got golf tees. And the reason that I went and acquired this box was to showcase the B logo on something other than just the hoodie that I'm wearing. But anyways,
and you know
really
what?
Cool
I can picture that box under a tree, wrapped up with a bow on top of it. It's got the perfect shape to it.
Nice.
And it's like tight.
Yeah.
There's something about it. It's like very tight. It's not one of those
tight there.
It's not one of those floppy, flabby boxes. You got to buy it just to see what I'm talking about.
It's like we suck the air out of it, and it's just tight.
No, I don't like those loose boxes, man. You need a tight box for Christmas.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
You need a tight box for Christmas.
You need a tight box.
Yeah, you want a tight wrap. If you can put a tight wrap on a gift. Also, if it's not your standard rectangle box, you want
you don't want to.
You want to show
box.
tight.
Like a nice rectangle.
You know the used boxes
box
they give you. Maybe it'll be like an Old Navy box, and they put a sweater in there, and you're like, oh, this has been a used box, loose. The edges are all curling in.
Ugly.
Tight boxes only.
Tight box.
We are in the
Tight
Chicks in the
box.
Office.
Foreplay
studio,
likes
by the
tight
way.
boxes
Did anyone tell
only.
that?
You know.
I mean, I guess on YouTube they probably know, but
We're the ugliest people to ever be in the studio.
well, I'm in here quite a bit, so I'm used to being the ugliest person in this room. But I think you beat me by a little bit now. But it's a nice,
probably a jarring difference for viewers of both.
Well, I had
shows,
to bring it up. It's just if you're watching on YouTube, we're just in front of the Chicks in the Office logo. We've got all these beautiful colors around us. Fran and Rhea were just nominated for a People's Choice Award, Best Pop Podcast. They went to LA. They look beautiful.
You guys are blending in with the white wall behind you.
They're absolutely dominating the game. And then they put us in their studio while they're out in LA, like on red carpets. And then we're just disgusting. Two disgusting slobs wearing like Barstool Golf hoodies in the Chicks in the Office.
Oh, Tiger Woods.
Golf. He says golf with an A.
No, shout out to them for letting them use their studio. It's nice in here. Really nice.
A few talking points to get through before we jump into the listener questions. Kevin Kisner and Max Homa are teaming up this week in the QBE shootout. There's no FedEx Cup points in this, but there is like a $3.6 million purse. I think there's only 12 teams, 24 guys total. Matt Kuchar and Harris English kind of dominate this event. But, our boys, nice when two of the foreplay fellas, Homa and Kiz, get together. So if you are bored this weekend, if there's nothing really going on, I think it's just a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event. But yeah, Kiz and Maxie teaming up will be fun to watch.
Yeah, I saw Tillery put up a video of a little tune-up session with Kisner before the tournament. So you got to expect good things out of them if Tillery's working with them right before they go down there. So I have high hopes for Kisner and Homa. I think they'll perform well. I
do too, but I was reading this CBS Golf has like this model predictor that's had a really good year, I guess. And this model predictor was just shitting all over Max and Kiz's chances this week and was saying that it has them, did like 10,000 simulations, and it has them not finishing inside the top 10. And there's only 12 fucking teams. I was like, well, that's not very nice.
Those model predictors, you never know. You never know with those guys. The model predictor said the Islanders had like a 95% chance of making it to the Eastern Conference Finals again this year, and they just didn't foresee an 11-game losing streak. So you never know what these fucking predictors.
Shout out to the New York Islanders last night, baby.
You made some cash, responsible cash last night, Riggs.
Responsible cash in the Barstool Sportsbook.
I did not. No. I made a bet on just the Islanders, and that hit. I thought like they're just going to win that hockey game. I don't think the Sens are like that strong. And the Isles had tied the 2 before, I think.
3 before. 4-game point streak. We've gone from an 11-game losing streak to a 4-game point streak. It's the year of streaks. We're getting going, boys. We got 9 out of our last 11, out of our next 11 at home. The New York Islanders, don't let them get hot. But I did see fucking Riggs put a nice G on the Islanders last night.
Yeah, he did. He hit big time on that app.
Let me say that the amount of money that I've been wagering has gone way up just because I've been up. So when you have money in there that you're not supposed to have, basically, you just find yourself, it's funny money, right? It's monopoly money. Like you just look in that account. That's not real. You can't really do anything with that. So you start wagering. And then I looked, everybody was going ham. I saw Whitney, the Wit Dog. I saw him put a bunch of cash. He was all in on the Islanders. Frankie, you were tweeting in all caps at like noon, which means you're fired up about the Islanders even more than usual. And then I fucking looked. They're on the road. They've lost 8 billion games in a row, and they were like minus 150. So I was like, what is going? I did not feel good about that. So then I had to kind of go pretty aggressive to try to win some cash, and I wanted to care. I wanted to be really into it. Turns out there's this epidemic going on where you can't fucking get NHL games at bars. Like no bars have the package or whatever to put NHL games on. So here in Scottsdale, lovely Scottsdale, Arizona, myself and Hanky Panky, who we all know, Hanky's out here caddying at Silverleaf for the winter. So I hang out with Hanky, who went to watch the game last night. We had to go to like 4 different bars before we could get the game on. So we're like watching on our phone. I guess like ESPN Plus is what I have, which allows you to watch every NHL game throughout the whole year. We go to these bars and they're like, well, we don't have the package that gets the game. And I was like, well, what I would suggest is you, Mr. Barr, you have what, hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue per week, per month. It's $70 to get ESPN Plus for the entire year. So what, like, if we just make that investment, you'll make all your money back in the next hour because we're going to be here drinking, watching the game.
Right.
But we couldn't get the game on. It was infuriating. So then we're driving to the next bar, and I just put it on my phone and was trying to, watch whatever, not crash. That was when the Islanders scored 2 goals in like 20 seconds. Mm-hmm. So I'm like going crazy. And then I was like, should I watch the whole fucking game in the car? But long story short, went hard on the Islanders last night. They won. So thank you, Frankie.
Yeah, no, that was a big win. Needed it. And there's something about taking games seriously. Right? Like, I feel like I kind of slipped up for the last week or so, letting the Islanders lose games, and it just felt very normal. Like, oh, they're going to lose tonight. Going to games, oh, they're going to lose tonight. I said, you know what, Dad? We got to go to Borelli's. Not even, like, I just want me and you at the bar like we used to do 2 years ago, sitting there, eating chicken parm, rally clams, sipping on fucking beers, and watching the game. We're going to get a win tonight. There was something about it. When you take a game seriously as a fan, it just feels like you have more of a chance. I know it has nothing to do with the product on the ice, but you just feel like the game is going to go your way more often than not when you take it more seriously than just flipping the channels and seeing the game.
Do you feel like, Frankie, you taking the game more seriously publicly potentially influences the players to take the game more seriously? I thought about that
because a couple of the players were liking the tweets of me being like, this is the most important game of my life. And they're like, all right, like, let's go. This is a big one tonight. Let's fucking get this shit done. And then I saw, to that point, some guys after the game messaging me being like, the boys are buzzing right now. Like that, like we needed that one. We got a huge monkey off our back. Like we finally remembered what it meant to like put the puck in the net. So, but to circle back, these generators don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So Kevin Kisner, I wouldn't take that with, I was going to say with a grain of salt.
Maybe it's good odds, though, because the generator,
maybe
on the Barstool Sportsbook, you find some good odds. If it's on,
you'll find great odds now that the generator's probably dumping it the other way.
Right.
And like, what are they, how do you,
+5.
What levers do you switch on a generator to make it like, what are you putting into the machine that says Max Homa and Kevin Kisner are not going to perform well at this tournament? Maybe I don't understand
because there's no history, I guess, of them playing as a team. Is that like you really can't predict Vegas how they're going to play?
I like space in Vegas is pretty much I have the same knowledge of in terms of like what they input into the system to get the appropriate odds for all sports. Like I just
who are these people? Like,
right,
and they are like they got to be some of the smartest people in the world
on the planet, dude.
And they're just sitting in the lab, just putting in information, just as much information as possible.
Think of it like the bank in Deal or No Deal. That's who I envision. Just like a silhouette of a person with a computer just cranking out whatever the odds are.
What would you say is the hardest one to predict?
The hardest sport to handicap?
I think it's got to be the over/under in a basketball game. There's just so much scoring going on. How the fuck are you supposed to know 221? And it always comes down to the last shot.
Like crazy.
I think football's a little easier because you can.
I don't know. I actually think the opposite because I think in basketball games the score is you're going to have like it's either going to be each team is going to score 80 to 110 points. So that's like the area where
you drop 125 on you.
But
it's just
no, but I know. But then a football game, if the over under is 65, and then each team it's a 17-7 game, then that's not even close to the over under. I think it's all of it is impossible in my eyes.
How about last night? Last night we had Lakers, Celtics, and obviously out here West Coast, like you're trying to find the later games because it's mid-dinner time. And so with some of the winnings from Frankie's glorious New York Islanders, threw a little bit on the under in the Lakers Celtics game, which was 220, and it finished at 219. So
Dude,
to speak to your guys,
It's so impressive. It's so impressive.
It's
when that
got to be
happens.
basketball.
fucking grinding
Crazy.
the whole time, and it's one fucking free throw that just rims out, and all of a sudden you go from losing
It's
to
got to
winning.
be
And like,
basketball, man. That's
dude,
there's
it was
so much
last
scoring.
night. They're at 219 or 217 with like a minute and 45 seconds left. They could score another 40 points the
Right.
way basketball works. And instead, the Lakers were up by enough that both teams just pretty much ran the clock out. And it just, for a minute and a half, it stayed at 219 and hits the under. So it's just,
And then when they
so
start
good
dribbling
at
around
fucking
and like they
hitting that.
decide they don't want to play at the end and they start like high-fiving people, it's just like, holy fuck.
Or like when a game ends as a push, that's one of the great accomplishments in human history. Like it's like, how did they know?
Yeah.
How did they know?
And it probably happens more often than not. Do we have Oars and Alps deodorant in this building?
Did you forget to put deodorant on this morning?
Why,
I
you
just
stink?
remembered.
Holy shit.
Jesus,
Yeah.
that's a tough.
If
That's
it's
would
coming
like-
through a sweatshirt too, like that, you know
I
it's
just-
bad underneath.
I kind of rushed out of the house and tried to make the train. Whoa.
You're having a tough morning.
Kiz and Max Homa are 8-1 to win in a 12-man field. So
See, I like that.
I think I might get a little spicy with that one. And if the CBS fucking computer model Watson over there is right, then I'll tell him to go fuck himself next time we do a podcast.
You got any at your desk?
Ember.
You are really
You got any?
wanting to.
You got any fucking deodorant at your desk?
I
dude?
don't know.
No, you took it all home. Do we have any of the deodorant? What? Yeah, text Ian. Let me see if I can get a stick under my armpits, bro.
Solomon's
Yeah,
great
Solomon
at that
in
stuff.
here. Tell him
Reliable
any
man.
flavor. I like any of those flavors. Is it weird to call deodorant a flavor?
No.
Okay.
No, you call it a flavor. This thing right here, boys and girls, this Ember is this is a smart mug. Okay, this thing's got more technology. This thing's smarter than we are.
That's
right?
smarter
this
than
thing
me,
is
for
smarter
sure.
than any of the four people on this show. This little piece of technology, which may be the most impressive piece of technology in the world. I'm more of an iced coffee guy, so I don't use it, but I used it for hot chocolate. Was in Colorado and it was snowing. This thing will literally alert you when your beverage inside of your drink reaches the temperature of your choosing. This thing will alert you to the point where you could be in the other room with a little cell phone in your hand. It'll send you a notification being like, yep, your beverage has reached the desired temperature. And it just does it and then keeps it that way for all of eternity in this little fucking mug. How incredibly impressive is this
So
device?
good.
Further
So good.
evidence that we are living in the best time.
Well, also, have you figured out now from using Ember what your preferred temperature is? Because I wouldn't know the difference between 120 degrees or a 95 degree drink. Like, what burns your mouth? What doesn't burn your mouth? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what's that temperature that you can handle?
It's high. It's high, man. I'm talking like there's some really high temperatures that you can get by that you would be really shocked. I mean, I would say like you can serve hot chocolates and stuff that are like 160 degrees.
No, no, you can't.
Really hot.
No, you-
Dude, think about it.
That
Think
would
about-
burn
okay.
your whole body. It would like
Think about when
you'd be the
okay,
faceless
when-
man.
when you get in like a when you do like a hot tub, right? What is it, like 90 or something like that?
Hot tubs probably no. You can get it up to like 104, 108. Is
Yeah,
when
it's
you're really cooking.
you're like
Okay.
barely touching triple
So
digits.
think about that.
You're
Lurch.
going
Think about
160 in your
no.
mouth.
Think about hot tub. Okay, that is manageable. Your human body can get inside of that, and it doesn't burn you to death. Now think about an entire tub of how hot chocolate is when it comes out. Think about how much hotter that is than a hot tub. Like if it touches your lips, you go ah, and you like panic.
So the
Yes.
the classic hot coffee McDonald's case, as everyone knows,
burned.
all over the person. They want a shit ton of money. 180 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit was that coffee.
All right, so that's hot. That's really hot.
I just read the
super
baseline
hot.
temperature for an enjoyable cup of hot chocolate is at least 100 degrees Fahrenheit. At least.
Okay, at least.
Coffee shops and restaurants routinely serve hot chocolate, tea, and coffee at temperatures well above 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
I'm telling you,
Dude,
you could get
water
that.
boils at 212. What are we doing here?
It's hot, dude. Think about how hot it is when you get hot chocolate, or when you get your hot chocolate or coffee or whatever you want in this Ember mug, okay? You can go to ember.com/Fore. You get 10% off for first-time purchasers. It's the best deal you will find on these products this season. Make sure to order early for holiday delivery. Again, this puppy is available at 10 ounce, 14 ounce, and a travel mug. It's unlike other products. The Ember app will notify you when your preferred drink temperature is reached, which may be 160, 170, 180 degrees Fahrenheit. This puppy is off the charts. And I'm telling you, that's why when you ask, Frankie, the numbers are shocking. Like when you actually, if you put something in here and you do the desired temperature of like 100, and then you taste, you're like, oh, that's just not that hot. Right. And then you go like 120, 130, and you're like, that's pretty hot. And then you get to 160, and you're like, that's what burns people at McDonald's and makes you fucking $100 million.
Question for you. Can you just put this Ember cup on your desk? I'm on this horrible juice cleanse, day 3 right now. I feel like I'm going to die. But could you put this on your desk, and it will just heat it up for you? So like a cup of tea. Put the tea bag in there, heats it right up for you, all the way to 160.
Oh, buddy, this puppy, you got to charge it up. And once this thing's charged,
that's crazy.
It'll just heat it. It'll just do it. You just tell it what to do, Lurch. And this thing could probably take you to the moon if it wanted to. The technology on this puppy is that this is like more impressive than Apollo 11, this fucking device right here.
Anytime somebody creates anything, it's always like mind-blowing to me. It's like,
how are we looking on that deodorant, dude?
All right, we got no deodorant in the building.
You're getting what?
There's none in the office.
So, we just spoke about, obviously, Kisner and Max Homa, and I got to give a shout-out. So I was going through all the questions, and one of the questions was about Kisner and a course record. And the guy sent us a note and just said, hey, I play this course, Carolina Lakes or something it was called, in South Carolina. Kisner has the course record at 63. How many course records do you think Kisner has? Do you think he knows? So I texted Kiz.
Oh, let's guess.
I just said.
Let's guess.
Okay. Well,
you have the answer.
Guessing.
Does Riggs have an answer?
I texted Kisner and said, do you know how many course records you have? A kid emailed us saying you have the course record at this place and was curious if you remembered. And his answer was no clue.
Okay. So, makes it tough to guess.
It does make it tough.
So we can't really guess.
There's got to be a lot, you would imagine. Like around his area, the courses he's been playing forever, he's got to have a bunch of them.
Think about how cool it would be to have a course record, and for these fellas, they just could not possibly care less.
Right, because they could really show up anywhere they wanted to. Anywhere they go, and they could shoot the course record most likely, and then they just have that forever. It's quite a skill.
Correct. Sorry, I was distracted right there. We're gonna keep rolling through now a bunch of these. The other thing I wanted to put before we got to from the galleries was that so Tiger tweeted about this full swing launch monitor thing yesterday, which obviously everybody went crazy, or a couple days ago. Perfect timing, all those things. And I was like, I'm gonna jump on their site and I'm just gonna kind of browse around. And the launch monitor game, right? I mean, TrackMan's kind of first came up with it, or whatever, hit the streets, where everybody kind of talked about it a handful of years ago. And I remember that everybody's been pretty much stunned because a TrackMan's like $25,000, whatever it is, which is just way outside of any normal human being's budget for something like a launch monitor. So I was looking, I was like, oh, have they changed? And this company, Rapsodo, I believe they're called, they sent me one that I opened up and I use occasionally for daily nines and just dumb bullshit on the range. And it's fine. I would say it's not like phenomenal data. You can hit a shot that clearly is like identical to the last one, and it'll be 5 or 10 yards off, but it's pretty damn good and cool and puts a tracer on there. And I looked online, that thing was like $500. I looked at this full swing launch monitor. I mean, just their standard little portable one that you can like put on the range and stuff with you is like $4,000.
Whoa.
Which
I looked that up too, because I have a little Garmin that's like, it does the same thing as like what yours does. It like gives you some sort of launch, some sort of distance. It's helpful. But it's like when we were down at TaylorMade, like it's not doing everything that they're showing us. And I checked out full swing and I was like, all right, these things are just, you got to be really looking to dial it in or playing some sort of like, competitive golf all the time to be getting one of these things, because they are not cheap.
Yeah. Now, I reached out to them and said, we should potentially partner together. So there may be a future show where we just talk about how these are a great deal and how you should absolutely buy one. And so you should have to do a little mind eraser from Men in Black and forget that we spoke about it. $4,000 is a great deal in the future, and it's gonna, you can't put a price on dialing in your swing and your yardages, so that may be coming. But I did look, and it is like eventually they're gonna have to figure this technology out to a price point that's actually feasible for human beings, right? Like that's kind of what they do with everything. The technology for a phone used to be the size of a fucking Walmart, and now you just have it and you can buy it. They got to be going that way eventually with launch monitors because the prices for these things are unbelievable.
Also, when you hear that like a range has TrackMan, it's like, oh, that costs like $2.5 million. Like it's like an outrageous fee.
Right. It's like the first flat screen TV was $50,000, and now you can get one. You can get a really nice flat screen TV for like $250.
Speaking of flat screen TVs, I'm going to take this opportunity to reach out to people in the flat screen TV business. I want a really good TV, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on it. You know what I mean? By the way, I want to alert people on my house process. People keep sending me open houses and stuff. I've gotten a contract accepted out on Long Island, so that's a little.
Congrats!
Thank you very much. So I don't need that, but what I do need now is no one on the podcast in the podcast world helped me with the house, like finding the house. I need help with all the other stuff now. I need to find if you work at like a PC Richards, because I heard you can negotiate with those people. You ever hear about that?
I don't even know what PC Richards
My brother's really good at that.
There's a PC Richards here on Long Island that you can just go in and negotiate the price of like a brand new TV. They'll be like $4,000. You're like, I'll give you $2.5. And they're like, all right, let's meet at $3.25. And they're like, all right, done.
I'd be so bad at that. I'd never
I'm the worst. I'm like Johnny Drama when he goes in to negotiate for his apartment. He ends up paying like $100,000 more than he was going to.
Oh my god, yeah. I think there's
I think
there's a Peter Griffin clip from Family Guy where he just negotiates his price higher. That's exactly what I would do.
I need fucking couches. I need farm tables. I need the whole fucking thing. If you got something you want to send to me, you send it to me. I'll give you my address. You fucking send it right to me. I'm going to take everything I can get. So, TVs, bro, there's a huge disparity between the cheap ones and the expensive ones. If you look up best TV to watch hockey on, that's a hard one to find because it's a stagnant white screen with a bunch of motion and people moving all over the place. If you get a cheap TV, you see the fucking blur of the player and the puck. I'm not having that. I'm not having that shit. I want something real
I don't know,
tight.
dude. I bought like, me and Lurch, I feel like when we lived together, we bought like a fucking 50-inch TV for $250 on Amazon. I thought it was pretty good, right?
Yeah. See, but like that's because you don't know what the really good one looks like. That's the problem.
No, but dude, I will say, when you go to Best Buy, they show you the really good one that's like off on the side. They only have like usually one of them.
Of course, you're a TV snob now.
Right.
Dude, no. I'm not because
and you're actively begging people for advice on TV.
I'm not a TV snob. I've never had a good TV. That's why I'm like, I'm begging. Yeah, I'm panhandling outside Madison Square Garden for a new TV. I really want a good TV. This is the problem. There's a TV out there that they say no matter where you, and it's not curved, but no matter where you look at it, it's perfect vision of the screen. They figured out all the pixels have like rounded pixels, so when you're on the side of the couch or in the middle of the couch, it's not directly at you. So you're always getting the supreme premium visual experience no matter where you sit, and it's not curved. You know those curved TVs that like it's not. It's just the pixels are curved. It's fucking crazy.
I will say there is a big difference when Robbie Fox and I lived together.
I need deodorant.
When Robbie Fox and I lived together, we were looking for a second TV for our living room.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, let's go on Amazon. You end up looking at all the numbers that you don't know what they mean. 1080, 720, 540.
Now.
It's just like they're throwing a lot of numbers at you. We found the one that we thought was really nice for, I think what we're saying, $250. Ordered it, had it delivered, hooked it all up, turned it on, and it was visually stunning. And then we're like, let's play a little music on it, see what that sounds like. It was like a mouse was whispering in our apartment. The sound is where they sometimes get you, where they'll entice you with all these numbers about how great the screen is going to look, and then you try to play Led Zeppelin, and it sounds like it's not even happening.
It's coming through like a radiator.
100%. So you right. So there are things that you have to look at that I don't know to look for, but you're looking for a hockey watching TV.
I am. I typed in best TVs of 2021 to watch hockey on. You know, like how you start searching like the top, and there's always lists. You ever think about how on the internet there's no matter what you type in, there's an answer for it. Like there's always some sort of article or video. Just no matter what you type.
The best source of information for something like this.
Best chili to eat while watching The Sopranos. There's going to be a fucking suggestion for it. You know what I mean?
The thing that I've found is usually the most helpful is the thing that you Googled, the best hockey watching TV of 2021.
There was a list.
Just add Reddit to the end of it.
Right.
And then you'll get real people talking about real things that happened in their life.
Right. I think my examples might be the only thing you can't find on the internet.
Right.
Best chili to eat while fucking watching The Sopranos.
It's very specific.
Very specific.
I'm not saying anything. But so what you should do is when you go to PC Richards, because I used to do this in college, you bundle things. So you'll be like, I want to get this
sound speaker, the whole thing. Okay.
So like I want a big TV for my room in the living room, but for our guest room we need a 50-inch. But what if I toss in a sound bar for all 3 rooms? Can you bring everything down?
Oh,
I'm not a good negotiator, and I
too
also
much
don't
for
want to
me.
negotiate.
No,
I want
me
people to
neither.
send shit to me for free. Is the real big thing. So that's ideal. The ideal aspect of this whole thing is that I get all these TVs just sent to me. The second option would be I negotiate a PC Richards and Sons,
and we film it.
I walk in like Dwight Schrute the day that he felt like he got disrespected at the mall, where like they dressed him up really fucking rich. He's like, I want to buy this. Remember that?
I actually don't.
Oh man,
I wish
I do. I remember that when they dress him up real fancy, and he gets all rattled. Because,
And they're like, why'd you discriminate him? He's like, well, he came in. He looked like he had blood covered all over him. He's like, I just came from the beet farm. All right.
From the gallery, we got a bunch of we got some good ones. The first one's probably my favorite, which we're going to get to in a second. First, we got to talk about Notion. With hybrid work becoming the norm, the strongest teams have 2 things in common: speed and alignment. Both come from having one hub where everyone can share work and processes, manage projects, and collaborate with clarity. This sounds like a lot of Lurch jargon, to be honest with you. So I would imagine something like Notion helps you in your little world of, fucking being a thought leader in the space and all that stuff.
That's what you think?
Yeah. For companies of all sizes, Notion provides one central and customizable workspace that can be tailored to fit any team and bring all teams together to get more done and move faster. What was the team building thing you guys did recently, Lurch? Go-karts or something?
No, we did painting right up here.
Painting, that's right. You guys went painting.
Even lamer.
There it is.
All right, everyone, take a sip of your wine and let's paint the horizon now.
What'd you do, a cactus? You painted. Go get your cactus. Let me see your cactus. You take it off the wall there.
We're gonna mix the orange and the blue, and we're gonna
find out how Notion may be the missing piece your team needs to grow, get more done, and delight everyone who uses it in the process. There's the cactus.
Beauty, isn't it?
It's not that bad. I think it's actually
pathetic.
pretty good.
The background's nice. The cactus is pathetic.
Yeah, the cactus
So,
sucks.
Frankie,
That's true.
yeah, it's terrible. It's square. I like it. It's like square arms going out. But Frankie, you're spot on when they're like, it's, it's obviously not as stupid as you're making it sound. It's actually kind of fun, but they do tell you like, okay, like now blend these 2 colors and this will be your background. You'll do it all in sections as a group and whatnot. But bringing the virtual world together. Notion. Thank you.
Notion, you can learn more. You can get started for free at notion.so. You can check it out on your own. Invite as many folks as you want to see how it works. Take the first step toward an organized, happy team today. Again, at notion.so. That is notion.so. Go check them out.
I think you stole my
First
water.
one from the gallery.
I think over the course of this podcast, you stole my water.
Well, no, you drank a water already.
I brought 2 in here.
Yeah, no, I thought you brought one for me.
No, it's fine, but I might have drank out of it. That was my only word.
No.
Oh, it was new?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was new.
Mm,
I'm 99% sure it was new.
from the gallery.
We have it on the tape. On tape, we could probably check.
I'm
See what
pretty
happened.
sure I cracked it open, dude.
We'll see.
How confident are you that you cracked this one open?
Pretty confident.
Whatever.
It's yours now.
Give me a
Good
percentage.
whatever.
Give me a percent. Oh, yeah,
I'm
that wasn't spot
75%
on.
sure I cracked that puppy. And then I put it right here, and at some point you just brought it to your side.
I'm 99% sure that I cracked it open.
Those numbers don't add up. Then those numbers don't add up. Somebody's wrong.
The tape don't lie.
Cole Cole says, boys, is Mozart the biggest fraud of all time?
What?
Stick with me here. Everyone says he's the greatest classical musician ever. However, technology wasn't around to record it, just the writing of his music. How do we know if he was great on a piano? He's a glorified songwriter at best. Thanks, Cole. Kind of a good point.
Say that one more time for me, because
So he says, is Mozart the biggest fraud of all time? And his theory is that technology wasn't around. We have no recordings of Mozart actually performing music. We just have his written music. So he says he's a glorified songwriter at best. How come everyone's calling him this phenomenal musician if we can't actually listen? We have no idea how he was at actually performing music.
I don't know that they call him a musician. They call him a composer.
True.
He's like the greatest composer of all time, right? So he's composed music. Orchestras played his music. He went up there and he orchestrated some of the best ballads of human civilization.
Yeah, that's a good question. Did he ever actually play the music, or was he always orchestrating?
I don't think that matters. I think he had the music in his fucking brain.
Yeah,
he definitely knew about it, but he definitely knows how to play music. He knows every
he's
single...
under the classification as composer, though. Which is
tell this fucking guy to kick
prolific.
rocks and then suck my asshole on the way out. Don't fucking disrespect
Frankie.
Mozart.
I mean, that's a little bit, but yeah, I'll give Frankie.
Thank you.
I'm going to, just reading his first byline on Wikipedia, which is obviously a fact, was a prolific and influential composer of the classical period. So even his first line doesn't say that he was some, Taylor Swift in terms of performer of music. It just says that he composed music, which is true. So Cole, maybe, I guess I'm not fully familiar with the general perception of Mozart, but I do think the first word that comes to mind is composer, not performer, right?
Completely. You're not comparing Mozart's musical ability to Prince's ability to play the guitar and come up with a song. Mozart was able to hear the music in his brain and know like the symphonies, and he would know when to bring in the percussion and when to bring in the bass and the brass and all that stuff. Like now you guys got me going down the hill. It was probably more strings too at that point. But my point is,
usually get yourself going down the hill.
That he is a composer, typically. Probably the best composer of all time. And then so like I would compare him and John Williams.
Yeah,
you know
I think
what I
that's
mean?
more accurate.
Like John Williams isn't out there fucking strumming a guitar at MSG, but he's making the fucking music that we've all come to know and love for our whole lives during movies.
Home Alone.
He's composed movie music. Harry Potter.
Yeah. I think
that's a good comparison.
I think John Williams is the best composer of all time.
Star
Wars.
What year do you guys think Wolfgang Mozart died?
All right, so I won't answer because I pulled up his Wikipedia just
so
like
I went
Riggs
on
did,
Wikipedia
so I know.
too. So
I could be way
All right,
off
Frankie
on this.
Borelli, you're the only one that is eligible for this trivia
What
question.
year do you think Mozart died?
I'm curious just if you can get within 100 years.
100 years? I don't think I'm going to be able to get within 1,000.
I'd also like to mention right now that Pablo Picasso died in 1973.
Stunning.
Right.
Always a good one. Always a good one.
The best one.
Trying to think, man. All right. No, I really have
After
no
the moon
basis
landing. He
for
died
what
after the
numbers
moon
this
landing.
is. I'm going to say that Mozart was around.
When did he die?
Dude, this is bad,
Just
man.
do it. Just jump off the cliff.
I don't know if I can.
You have a number in there. I know you have a number.
you
What
do.
is it?
I don't know, man. I'm going to say I don't want to do this,
Do
man.
it.
I don't want to
Do it.
1585?
Nope.
Fuck.
200 years off.
Not terrible.
Not that bad. Not that bad. I thought you were going to say maybe like 100 BC or something.
No,
that would have been
Right. Just no idea.
1791.
Fuck.
1791. Was only 35 years old.
Well, he
And
was the
his
he was the
death was only
prodigy,
a couple
right?
days
He
ago,
he was
December 5th.
composing music when he was like 11 or something.
I was going to say
Yeah.
1700s too, but I thought that was stupid. I thought like
Right. You just read the Wikipedia page there, Trent? Because I think we all just read that little snippet of it.
I don't know that I
Which
would have
one?
done much better, Frank. I think that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like America and like when America started getting going, I thought maybe like they had already known about Mozart. I don't know. Something about, I don't know. Where was Mozart born?
Rome, I think. Was that right?
Yeah. So I pictured like all, I don't know, that classical time. I thought that may have been before.
1791.
I think you were pretty close. think you were pretty close. He was born in Austria, Salzburg, Austria, and he ended up dying in Vienna, which seems like a lovely place. I'd actually like to visit there. Okay.
Wonder if he had sausages.
Probably.
I was going to see how long we were going to let that sit there.
Well, I thought Lurch might, being the ogre he is, would have had some sort of comment for the Vienna sausages. I know you've had a couple in your time, big boy.
I think everybody's enjoyed a sausage or two in their day.
Lurch Vienna sausage, though, is what I'm talking about.
Maybe you'll have one with Testy. Maybe you'll have a sausage with Testy.
Tony Nutsack?
Warm one up.
I know you were going through this juice cleanse now. I'm curious if it is a result of your public order of bagels recently, which I would not mind if you walked the listeners through, because I do think one of their favorite recurring segments is what you ate for a meal. And I was it was grotesque what I saw you post of your bagel order the other day.
I'll recount it, but that is part of why I'm on this 5-day juice cleanse that is an absolute bender. I will say, after day one, you feel your body just suck in. But yeah, Friday morning. So I had to be down in Philadelphia Thursday, and then Friday I had to be up in kind of like northwestern New Jersey. So it was like a 10 a.m. meeting, woke up, and had a friend in Princeton. So we had like beers and wings that Thursday night, woke up, went to this bagel shop, got my first bagel. Everything bagel, toasted the cream cheese, scallion cream cheese, phenomenal. And I was ordering and sitting not 5 feet away from the cashier, so he was just looking at me like I'm crazy. So eat that. I was like, ooh, that was really good bagel. Then go back up, get a toasted everything bagel. And these bagels were thick. They were good bagels. Okay. Go back up, get a bacon and egg sandwich on an everything bagel. And I'm looking around and I'm like, man, I'm still,
no way.
I could have another one. So then I go back up and the cashier is like, what, do you need what is going on?
Another one.
You need a digestive pill? And then I go back up and I get a pork roll and egg on a everything bagel toasted again, slam that thing down and then hoof it on out there. I think it was Knock Bagel Shop, something in Princeton. They were absolutely phenomenal thick bagels.
Were you there for 45 minutes? Like, how long were you at this bagel shop?
Yeah, probably 30 to 35 minutes, something like that. 30 to 40 minutes, something like that. And it was kind of funny because the gal that would bring the sandwiches from out back kept shouting Ben. And she was like, you again? Like, what is going on out there? So anyway, stuffed those things down, had a coffee. Did it. This was like, an AR and VR demo for an agency. And then I was driving back to where I live in New Jersey and stuffed a gigantic sub from Wawa, the biggest one that they got, with a large Pepsi. And then closed my day out with probably 6 to 7 slices and 6 to 7 garlic puffs. So it was a bread-filled
500 pounds. And I say that with all the respect in the world for you, but that is the diet of a man. They should have to cut his apartment door open to be a larger size to get him out of it. Like that's, I mean, and it's
that was a big day. It was a big day, and honestly, I was like still hungry when we were eating pizza. There was nothing. It was just kind of hey, we had a couple people there, and we probably got 3 or 4 pies with 2 orders of puffs. Shout out place Val's, really good puffs. Menus kind of changed, but still pretty good.
Is there a possibility that you have a tapeworm?
I mean, anything's possible. I will say this juice cleanse is knocking me on my ass.
Way, bro. You're acting like this guy's a fucking thin as a rail.
But do you not agree?
Fucking huge, all right. He's like 6'5", 270 pounds. He's fucking massive.
Yeah, but all right. I think if you presented, we should do this. If you presented that daily intake of calories to a doctor or a nutritionist, guess how much this guy weighs? I think they say $4.
Yeah, easy. But he's fucking. Well, if he was 5'8", he'd be $4.
Yeah, it'd be a mess. But I will say I move around a little bit. I mean, I'm not like super active, but I'm not just sitting there.
I don't think that's how that works.
If you shrunk me, I'd be wide as a doorway.
If you shrunk him, he would just look fatter, but he'd still be 270.
I think the mass would just make them fatter, man. I really do. I think being taller, there's something about it. It's almost like with our golf bags when you lay them down sideways or as opposed to standing up. Something about it being the weight distribution of being smaller bowling ball. You're just fatter.
It's more dense.
Yeah.
I'd be a plug. I'll tell you that. You shrunk me down to sub 6 feet, I would be an absolute plug.
Waddling around. Dude, there's a cream cheese shortage right now. Like, I think in New York City.
Yeah, there is.
You're probably half the reason for that.
It's not the supply chain, it's Lurch.
You got these bagel shop owners outside crying with their families, being like, "We just can't stop this guy. He just keeps coming in."
This guy's severance was just here. I don't know what happened.
God, please, if you.
So actually, I've heard though it's less about the cream cheese being the shortage and more about the packaging that's the shortage that's creating the issue.
No,
because they actually just can't deliver.
They should just send it straight to your place, man. Just cut out the middle. That's fine.
I'll suck that down. The other thing, though, so with this juice cleanse, everybody knows that dairy's been an issue for me. And so with this juice cleanse, I'm trying to just clean out the body and then stay off the dairy for at least a little bit. I will say my brother and I always take down a pot of cheese fondue for Christmas Eve. And I don't know how I'm not going to do that. Dude, we fill a huge pot.
Does your family holiday parties smell? You guys just farting and puking and shitting
like extra durable toilets in the Severance household.
Oh, hell in a handbasket! It's absolute sewage up here.
Kaboom! Kaboom! Just every 45
So for
minutes.
whatever reason, as kids, when my parents got divorced, Mom would eat like lettuce only, and then for Christmas Eve we'd get like 3 to 4 baguettes, some apples, and then we just make a pot of cheese fondue, and my brother and I would take the whole thing down. So just as I saw him this morning, he was like, "So you're still in for the pot of cheese fondue?" And I was like, I don't know if I'm in, but there's a good chance that I still stuff that pot of cheese fondue.
3 weeks out, he's like, "So I'm going to be alone?"
Like, "This is going to fucking kill us, dude. This is going to murder us."
Holy fuck, man. That is just you just listing down what you eat makes me laugh so much. It's just so funny. So much.
So the juice cleanse is just juice morning, afternoon, night. It's
just juice. Yeah. So this first one, I've only had this little juice today. It's got orange, ginger, lemon, cayenne, oil of oregano. And that's it. And that's what I drink. And then I'll have another juice. However, I was talking to somebody else and then I was doing a little research. Today, I'm going to even try to wean off the juices and just drink water.
Bro, but this is torture though, because you're not like a person who's like, "Oh, my diet's like, I'd like to tighten it up a little bit." You're going from eating 7 bagels a day to then only putting juice in your body. Like, that can't be good for you. You need to
mix in one juice,
You need to do something feasible. You do this extreme thing that will never stick. You need to make a feasible adjustment that you can continue for the rest of your life.
Right, because I used to be in a similar boat where my diet would be horrible, and then I would go instantly. I'd go cold turkey to no carbs, and I was miserable. And then I give up on it. If you can't go from one extreme to the other. That's a recipe for failure.
I will say it is crazy. Your body, my body's just looking for that bagel. Like a couple days ago, I was like, "Oh, these things are coming in like hotcakes. We don't even have to worry about we know the next meal's not more than 3 hours later." Right now, it's making noises and it's making sounds that it's trying to. Oh yeah, it's super
shocked that there's just not 5,000 calories coming in every couple hours.
It's like the engine of of one of those trains where you keep feeding the coal into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Your fire's starting to burn out right now.
Yeah, you're like the bottom of the Titanic when they go through that scene where the guys are just shoveling it in there to keep those fucking things churning.
Exactly.
That's your body. You got none of that going in right now. What do you think the most calories you've had in a day is?
Dude, honestly, that's one thing that I've always
5 figures
on people.
Is it 5?
They're always so do it. What's 3 bagels, a foot long, probably a foot and a half long sub, and then call it 6 slices and 6 puffs was the day.
My Fitness Pal.
I mean, it's probably high, but I don't even think that's my biggest day. You know what I mean? There's been other days out there where it's just been knocking them back.
Have you ever been to a Fogo de Chao or something like that, Lurch?
No.
Like a Brazilian steakhouse?
No,
where
I
they just
haven't.
keep
I mean, like
feeding you
one day
food?
at lunch when I was working at Oracle, I had 3 Chipotle burritos just in a city.
Holy fuck.
I mean, that's a lot in itself. I don't know what that is, but those burritos are big.
All right, let's say you had about 2,000 calories worth of bagels.
Okay. That's a lot
A
of
normal
bagels.
daily intake of a whole day for a normal human being.
And then you had
yeah.
foot long what?
I had a foot long, like I had the biggest sub Wawa can give you. Biggest chicken salad sub they can give
With
you.
like dressing on it and the whole like everything.
Oh yeah, the whole thing.
I'm also picturing
Yeah,
that's how you
everything.
ordered it as soon as you walked in. Yeah, I just want the biggest one you got.
Yeah.
And then I went over and got just the biggest. It was actually a Coca-Cola. I got the biggest Coca-Cola cup they could give you, which was just.
So you got to think that's another 1,500 to 2,000 right there.
Yep.
Then you were eating these garlic knots. You ate like a dozen of them. Is that what you said?
No. I had like 6 or 7. I was joking with my brother. I was like, yeah, I think we went 7 for 7. 7 puffs. They're like, they're probably the big as like, if Frankie made a little fist with his hand, that'd probably be, I guess they're probably half his fist or something. Maybe 2/3 his fist. And then, yeah, on top of that, I had 7 slices.
So
And,
7 slices
some
of
were
pizza is like, that's
Sausage,
around
onion,
2,000
peppers,
more
some were
calories.
cheese, some were pep. 2,000,
Yeah, I bet-
7 slices.
I
That's
bet
probably
you were
close.
in the 6,000 to 7,000 calories that day range.
Yeah.
That's like what they have.
What does that equate to pounds? Like, I don't even know. Like, what are we even talking about? Like, yeah, calories, great, but like,
But think about how unhealthy people say a Big Mac is. A Big Mac's only 560 calories compared to you ate 6,000.
yeah, but I think that's some like bad food in there too. You know what I mean? That's like
You ate
processed
6 slices of
shitty
pizza. You
Like
didn't eat
you-
fucking celery sticks.
I mean, dude, yeah. And so, anyways, it's so good. My really good buddy, he just moved back. He was down in actually Columbia. Jersey sports fan. If you remember that guy, Basil. He popped up on Barstool. Yeah. So he moved back, and his wife is from Colombia, and her English is kind of like, it's not perfect yet. And she was taking a walk with my brother's wife the other day, and they were just talking, and like my brother's wife was talking about the juice cleanse that we're both doing because he's on it as well. And she couldn't find the word for what my brother and I need to like work on and change. And so the word she came up with was emotions. She was like, they just have to work on their emotions around food. And it's like honestly, it might be the perfect word for it. So my brother and I were sitting around last night and we were like, dude, we have to have like more fun than just thinking about like, what are we going to like shove down our mouths in the next hour? So,
Yeah, I mean, 3 weeks out, your brother is like trying to get you emotionally prepared for this pot of cheese that you guys are just going to eat on Christmas Eve.
yeah, it's a pot. It's like probably as like deep as a Bushnell speaker. So like I would say 8 to 10 inches deep. And then, yeah, just a standard pot width. And with that thing's just stuffed with cheese and wine.
There's this comedian called, his name is John Panetti, or Panette. He passed away, but one of his like big stand-up routines was going to the Chinese buffet. And after listening to this, everyone should just go search this guy's bit about the Chinese buffet and how like the owner refused to have him come back anymore because he essentially used it as like a casino where he just kept saying hit me, like he just keep going up there and just be like hit me again. It's so lurch, and the way that this guy delivered it was amazing. He was a very, very funny comedian, but that just reminded me, I could see him at the bagel shop just walking up there and then begging him to just stop ordering food. You know what I mean? So yeah, go look that up. It's very, very funny stand-up routine.
Shady Rays. So I have the 2 winners, by the way, of the 3-night stay, Pinehurst home. I'm going to announce them after we talk about Shady Rays. I'm looking all around. I don't have any of my Shady Rays in my apartment. They're all in my car or my golf bag because I use them every time I leave the apartment. I have like 4 pair, which is an unbelievable deal. If you don't know about Shady Rays deal, you can get 2 or more pair at 50% off at shadyrays.com if you use the code FORE. So you can get 2 pair or pairs for $48. I have to ask you a question. Somebody tweeted at me. They get very annoyed when I say pair and not pairs because the ad copy says pairs, but I was under the interpretation that pair is the plural of pair is one of those one of the words where you don't put an S on it, like deer. You don't say deers. I was under the impression you don't say pairs. Do you say pairs? Is that correct?
Shout out to all the pairs.
I would say that.
See that Rick Ross clip?
I definitely have seen it. I would say that I would pluralize pairs because when you talk about a pair of sunglasses, that's one set of sunglasses, right? Or am I wrong? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if I asked you like, hey, you got a pair of sunglasses I could borrow?
Which I've never understood.
You would bring out one unit of sunglasses.
I've never understood that. I've never understood a pair of pants either. That's an interesting
one.
Never understood a pair of pants.
Yeah, because you got two legs, you got two like.
But it's all one pant.
Right. Yeah, that.
If I said I got a pair of pants for you, in reality, I should have two things of pants for you. Two pants.
I guess it's anything that has two things. Like sunglasses have two eye things, pants have two legs. That's sort of how they go off of it.
Yeah, but like you don't say two shirts because like you have two arms.
Yeah, you don't say a pair of headphones, or do you say a pair of headphones?
Yeah, you do say a pair of headphones.
That's fucked.
Shirt is a good example, though.
Now I'm trying to think of a thing where you say a pair of something,
pair of underwear,
but it's actually double. No, but like you're actually bringing like a pair of cups, like something that actually has. You'd bring out two, but I don't know if I can think of a phrase that's like a pair of two mutually exclusive things.
In non-standard usage, pair often appears as a plural. Our advice, this is from grammarphobia.com, our advice is to use pairs in a situation like this. Each package contains 6 pairs of socks.
Now, socks makes sense.
Yeah, socks is different because they're not connected. You're actually getting 2 socks. So that
no, I know, but that's not even the crux of the discussion is do you just add an S to the word pair? If you have 5 pair, would you say pairs or pair of anything?
I think in the example that you originally were talking about with sunglasses, I would pluralize pair.
All right. Shady Rays also provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed and have donated over 20 million meals to date. They have the best warranty in the game. Replacements if shades are lost or broken for any reason. It doesn't matter what happens. Drop them in the ocean. Leave them on the golf course. Anything. They'll replace them. Try that with your high-priced shades. See if they'll help you. They probably won't. Use the code FORE, F-O-R-E. You will get 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. That's buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for $48. Go to shadyrays.com. Scroll through. You're going to see their styles. They're great. They're polarized. They got really, really, really good stuff. And then they got a great deal and great warranty. So use the code FORE. Get yourself a good deal. shadyrays.com. And I'm going to start saying pairs. Trevor from Facebook, I went through the Facebook group. He posted a little thing in our Facebook group. I think we have 3,000 or 4,000 people in there. So if you're not in there, there's a nice little discussion about golf and the podcast that goes on in there. He said, listening to the latest pod, guys are talking about golf coverage and getting to the point of being able to see any golfer you want no matter where they are in the field. Does anyone know if the tour would allow individual players to hire their own media person whose only job would be to live stream their golf? May not be the same as the fancy cameras and network television, but you could make it work if the tour would allow it. And then there's a few different responses and people went through. I would imagine it's similar to any issue that we've run into, which is that the tour is incredibly protective of anything that gets broadcasted, which is really not even the tour's problem, but the tour, licenses their broadcasting and their network coverage and all that to these corporations, these media conglomerates that put on obviously the coverage that we watch, and those companies pay an enormous amount of money for that. And what comes with that is basically an umbrella covering all PGA Tour media, which is why we don't go to many tour events, because the USGA, the PGA of America, they put on basically one or a few big tournaments a year. That's it. And they're a lot more lenient when it comes to us putting out videos and coverage and doing the bullshit that we do. Whereas the PGA Tour, because they do 40 some odd events throughout the year, they sell that to NBC, CBS, etc. They pay an enormous amount, and then everything is incredibly protected. So I don't think if Kevin Kisner wanted his guy B-Robs, who came up with the finger tracer, to just be out there and do live streams of him playing around in golf and put it on his own, I don't think he could do that in a similar way that Jake Owen doesn't own his own music and can't really determine when you can play it and all that. Probably pretty similar where Kevin Kisner doesn't even own the rights to him playing golf on camera.
It is similar,
right?
But
certainly not on those weekends. Thursday through
Bless
Sunday,
you, Frank.
he has no. Was that a sneeze? That was the daintiest little thing.
It sounded like a mouse. That was like a mouse sneeze.
Pretty loud in here, actually. I think he got away from the mic. Yeah.
Dude, when I've been sneezing, it's been hurting my back. I don't know if that's something bad.
That's old age.
Jake, on the show, play that back for the listeners out there. That little sneeze from Frankie. It came through really dainty for us for some reason.
This guy's email actually made me think about something, and the idea would certainly violate the things that you just explained, Riggs. But do any of you guys have the Citizen app?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
talking about Axon citizens?
I don't know. But all I know is the app on my phone is it basically alerts you when there's some sort of criminal activity going around in your area, and it'll say there's a robbery happening on 47th Street or whatever. And then it gives you the option, like if there's a fire, people who are near that fire can go live, and you can do live look-ins to like what is actually happening at the fire. It's an interesting app. Sometimes it'll drive you a little crazy because it basically tells you about all the bad stuff that's going on around you.
I don't want that. I understand.
I understand. But my point is, what if they just crowdsourced PGA Tour players who are not on the main coverage with people who are watching?
That's pretty cool.
So if you're on a hole where it's not on the TV coverage, but there's someone there who's watching, you could go to an app and say, Johnny is on the 7th hole with this golfer. He's live. You can click it there, and there would somehow give you the updates on what shot it is, where he's at on the hole. Then it wouldn't be on, because last episode we talked about how it's the manpower, it's the money, that's what it takes, and that's what's in the way of all this happening. What if you just put it in the fans' hands, and if there's people out there watching, give us the opportunity for them to live stream, and we can watch it there.
But then Johnny shows his cock, and then it's all over.
I understand. I understand that there's issues with it for sure. But what I'm saying is it takes the manpower aspect away from it.
Johnny's like, oh, here's Kevin Gizzard about to hit a shot. Just kidding, I'm jerking my weenus now. It's like, oh, fuck.
I understand. And it's good to have people like you to we got to troubleshoot these types of things.
You have to.
But I mean, but you understand what I'm saying? That'd be one way to do it.
I like the idea.
I think we are not the sharpest tools in the shed on this show. I think people know that. It's very clear, especially if you listen. That's one of the better ideas I think I've heard, Trent. I think that's a really good idea. People were there.
I do too.
They've got the phone. It's almost like it's like Uber. People were already driving cars around. Why not fucking pick people up and make money off? People were already there with their phones out all the time. Every photo we see of Tiger, people got their phones out. Why not tap into that and have a little bit of coverage from the folks out there? Obviously, we might have to have some sort of monitor out there, so Johnny's cock isn't the first thing that you see when you tune in to watch, Kiz try to get up and down. But I like the idea a lot. It's a good one.
Okay.
You make the people that sign up for the app have to be verified users, where it's like their name and their telephone number, so that they don't walk around with their weenus out, because if they do, then they're just going to get caught, and it's going to be
they'll get arrested.
They'll get arrested.
Why are you saying weenus? Are you marrying the two?
I don't know.
Testy put us on a weird kind of run this whole show, honestly.
Dude, I cannot wait to meet Tony Nutsack.
It's going to be a good time.
I have my winners. I forgot. So, again, these are folks who bought $100+ worth of Foreplay Barstool Golf merchandise.
This is a huge winner, by the way. Like this, you're giving them a Pinehurst trip.
This is a serious
two winners.
We get 2 different winners. Each one is going to get 3 nights stay in a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom home in Pinehurst, North Carolina. Great spot. We have 2 winners. Again, we're going to contact these folks via email in the next couple of days, but I'm going to wait so that we get the drama and the drum roll, which I hope they're playing right now. I hope you're playing it like Frankie wanted you to. Our little composer boy, Frankie himself, knows how to build the drama. So do that now. We have 2 winners who we, again, are going to contact, but you are finding out right now. We have Brock Leatherman, who was from the great state of Ohio. Had a couple tough weeks if you're from the great state of Ohio and you're us, but now you get a little bit of a holiday cheer, Christmas present from me to you, from us to you. Brock Leatherman from Ohio, and then we have Zach Haley, or Hale, Haile. I don't know exactly how you pronounce that, from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, so relatively local. Those are our 2 winners, Brock and Zach. Congratulations to you. You will coordinate directly with me. I'll get you set up. You get 3 nights. You bring really whoever the fuck you want. I don't care. You earned it. You support us day in and day out with your wallet, your hard-earned money. So we are happy to repay you with a lovely trip and a 3-night stay. So we're going to reach out to you. Brock, Zach, congratulations. Those are our winners.
All right. That's fantastic. Congrats to them.
And thank you for buying our merchandise. Very
nice.
Carter says, this is on Facebook as well. Can you all think of a solid Christmas gift for $75 or less? And this is a tough one, obviously, because golf has gotten so expensive. Clubs are really expensive. Balls are really expensive. I saw quite a few different answers. This was posted on Facebook. You can always go with like a dozen, nice golf balls and a couple golf gloves. That's easy. I think a head cover is a really good one. Like a nice head cover sticks with somebody that's pretty much on their bag for years until they lose it, and it becomes kind of the face of your golf bag. You only have 3 or 4 head covers. You got a putter, you got a driver, you got a 3-wood, maybe you use another hybrid or something like that. So I think a good, cool head cover is a really good one. And then I do think, and this isn't even an ad, I don't even think they pay for the ads anymore, but the Bushnell Wingman, that thing, I think it's like 100, 120 or something like that, depending on where you go. So it's not under 75, but it's in the ballpark. That thing's a phenomenal gift. That thing, I use that all the time. That Bushnell Wingman's awesome. I'm not sure if you guys can really think of anything else under the $75 price point.
I would echo the Wingman because it's not just a golf gift. You bring that. I brought that to a bachelor party, and the idea of the magnet being able to go wherever it can stick to. We brought it out to the pool. We brought it into the kitchen. Everywhere, and it's the best. It's the best quality sound that you can get for the price. It's crazy, and then it just also happens to have all the golf capabilities as well. So that's a good call. It's definitely a little bit more expensive than 75, but totally worth it for a gift. I'm trying to think of anything else. I don't know.
This hoodie that I'm wearing.
Yeah, we love golf hoodies, whether it's Barstool Golf ones or ones from golf courses. Like, for me, buying golf-related things that I can wear, whether it's to the office or to the bar, that stuff for me is awesome. To be able to bring the golf courses and golf brands off the golf course.
Breaking news. Yeah. I got breaking news.
Okay. Holy shit.
Tiger Woods is committed to the PNC Championship in Orlando, where he and his son Charlie will compete in a week and a half in the team event.
Hell,
we're back.
Yes.
We're just back.
Let's go.
Believe Tiger
Come
Woods
on. We're going to get Tiger Woods playing golf on television next weekend.
I mean, on the last episode, I think we all said it was 100% chance it was going to happen. But even now, I'm even more excited than I thought I was going to be. Bro, like, that's amazing.
That is.
So you're telling me this guy didn't miss one PNC from last year?
Nope.
No.
Holy fuck.
What a year it's been.
Right.
What a year it's been.
He didn't miss the PNC from year over year. That is so incredible.
Just didn't miss it. Drove off a fucking cliff. Almost killed himself.
The crash happened a couple months after the PNC.
Bro, this is so impressive.
When was the exact date of the Tiger Woods crash?
February, like 20-something, I want to say.
That is incredibly impressive that this guy hasn't missed the PNC. He went PNC to PNC with a life-altering, almost life-ending accident in the middle.
The jaws of life picked him out of there. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
Really impressive and very cool. Now, T-Daddy, you were, I want to say, were you 60 or 70%, but then went up to almost 90% for Augusta? What do you think now?
I don't know if it really changes anything for me.
No, me either. I think I will.
Really?
Well, I mean, what was that at last show? 95% after we talked it through. So I think I'm pretty much in the same boat. Because there's always the chance he just doesn't play and, he decides he's not ready or whatever. But, I mean, the overwhelming opinion, I would imagine, is that he's going to play at Augusta.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's just very exciting. He's going to have a tee in the ground here in just 2 weeks.
I mean, we're going to be watching him hit like irons into greens and having big putts and high-fiving with Charlie, and they're going to come out in their red and black again on Sunday. The whole thing is it's just going to happen next week. I just need to make it to next weekend now.
He played the PNC.
I need to witness this on television.
He played the PNC, almost died, and is playing the PNC again.
He didn't miss it. He's just there in the record book. It's just going to be that he played every year during this stretch. He was just there and played golf with his son.
So I tweeted out yesterday, will Tiger Woods play in the 2022 Masters? And it got 4,300 votes. 53% yes, that he will play in the Masters. 47% saying no. So, I mean, it's pretty close to 50-50 for the general public. That's a lot of votes like from golf fans on our Twitter. So
I thought the number for yes would be higher.
Yeah, same. It's a little close to 50-50.
That motherfucker's playing the Masters. I'm sorry. Like he's playing the Masters tournament. How is he not going to play the Masters tournament? They got the Walrus fucking plays the Masters, and you're telling me Tiger Woods, who just won the tournament 2 years ago, is not gonna play in the Masters tournament?
He doesn't want to be embarrassed, man. It's all about how people perceive him. If he doesn't think that he can compete, he's not going to play in it. He's only going to play when he thinks he can win.
This PNC is a good step, though.
Yeah. But also, he's driving the cart. He's hitting the shots with Charlie.
Get him back out there in front of TV
This is all
cameras.
about Charlie. Let's not forget about this. This is the reason why he's doing that. Tiger Woods, the Tiger Woods killer assassin winning tournament after tournament every single week is not worrying about playing golf at the PNC with his son. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a new Tiger Woods that is doing this for his son to get out there and have fun and show the world their relationship and how good his son is. And like, it's a memory thing. This has nothing to do with his skill or him trying to win tournaments. Let's just, that's a fact.
I think that's wrong.
Frankie, the guy was sneaking over to the back of the driving range all week to hit balls. Like, he wasn't doing that so that Charlie Woods would just think that he looks cool on TV. He's doing that because he wants to hit good golf shots when he does play next week.
You're right that it's a part of it for sure, but to say that it has nothing to do with his, reemergence onto the tour to potentially, compete, that he's not living in a vacuum.
But then my argument would be like, why didn't he play in the Hero then? Like, I think the only reason he's playing in a tournament is because it's with his son.
It's definitely a huge part of it, but I
think it's the only part of it. If the Honda Classic was next week, he would not be playing.
If he wasn't a father, he's not playing in this tournament.
Also, if it was just any other, if the PNC was not, if the PNC was not next week, he would not be playing in the tournament that's next week or weekend, whatever.
But my point is, like, if the PNC were a month after the car accident, like, I don't think he'd be out there just putting with one hand. Like, he has to be at a certain level, I think, to play. So I think both things can be true at the same time. But you are right. Like, if it weren't for Charlie, if his son was just like not that into golf and was like, yeah, sure, if you want to do it, kind of like fine, whatever, Tiger wouldn't be playing. But I do agree that, like, Charlie being so into golf, he's doing it more for Charlie, I guess I would say, than he is for Tiger.
I'm not saying that he's not coming back. I think he's absolutely going to be playing in PGA tournaments. I'm just saying that you guys were taking what's happening at the PNC and then raising your numbers about the Masters, and I'm saying that I don't think that there's any correlation between the two about his actual ability to play golf. I think the only reason he's playing is because of Charlie, and the reason for that is because he didn't play in the Hero. He won't play in any other tournaments until the Masters, and this isn't even a real tournament. He could never play in the PGA Tour ever again and still play in every PNC for the rest of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. And
they're not correlated at all.
To be fair, I said earlier that this doesn't change my number for Augusta at all, I don't think.
It's oddly the perfect situation, especially for an argument like this where it's like it's not a real tournament. It's not like he's ready to play at the Masters right now, but it allows him to get out there because he's playing with Charlie. It's a pretty relaxed environment. It's not like a real event. So I think it works in both ways.
Wow.
I'm fucking excited.
This is so exciting.
I'm fucking excited to watch this guy hit golf shots. I'll tell you that.
It all makes sense now, too. Like, the driving range stuff just makes sense. Like, he fucking knew he was playing. He has a tight window. He doesn't have a ton of time to get ready. He's going to put his game on television. And this motherfucker wants to win. Like, do you know how cool it would be if him and Charlie win this event?
Dude, I'm really excited to see Charlie play.
Yeah.
Really excited.
Because, like, in that last year, has he gotten even – I mean, he was throwing darts a year ago. Like, now, not to say everybody plays great every day, but, like, it will be fun just to see Charlie in terms of, like, did his body mature? You know what I mean? Like, does he look bigger, stronger?
At that age, things change fast. Like, you're 11 to 12 is different than 23 to 24. Like, you're going through a lot more. So it'll be interesting to see where his game's at.
This is just so awesome. It's so awesome. We're going to watch the Woodses play golf next weekend together. They're going to be fist pumping. They're going to be reading putts together.
It's incredible.
It's just like, it's just going to happen.
It will be funny how many tee shots. Remember last year, like, he'd be like, Charlie, you hit first. And then, like, if it was a good one, he would just walk up. It'd be funny if that's just every time. Just like,
dude,
it's almost
finished his
Tiger, like,
he was just going like this.
Right.
Charlie was just going like this. Thumbs up, Dad.
Right. Maybe Tiger just kind of forecaddies for Charlie next weekend. It's just a way to enter the tournament, and he takes like 4 swings all week.
We'll say the coverage needs to be on point, man. If they better be scurrying around figuring out how every single swing of every single fucking day is filmed on this guy.
They fucked that up last year, didn't they?
Yep.
Pretty sure they did.
Okay. SimpliSafe. Talking a lot about family. Tiger, Charlie, protecting your family, how important that is. You ever wanted to make your home feel safer? There is no better time than right now. This week, our friends at SimpliSafe are giving Foreplay listeners early access to all their holiday deals, 40% off, award-winning home security. They're just the best, okay? SimpliSafe even named Best Home Security System of 2021. They got phenomenal technology, biggest discounts of the year coming with that technology right now. You can get a complete home security system starting at just over $100. You can take advantage of SimpliSafe's holiday deals, get 40% off your new home security system by going to simplisafe.com/foreplay. That is simplisafe.com/foreplay for 40% off your entire system. It's everybody's favorite home security company for a reason. We're no exception. Setting up technology. Speaking of that Pinehurst home, we're going to have SimpliSafe there. So when our good friends Brock and Zach, who won, go stay there, they're going to be incredibly protected in a very simple way because we're installing SimpliSafe at the home. My parents have been using it. They've been safe. It's just really good, easy, great system. simplisafe.com/foreplay. You get 40% off your entire system. I imagine your home, Frankie, congratulations, will be protected by SimpliSafe. Is that correct?
Has to be. I need simple when it comes to the house. I need as simple as it gets. I'm dumb. I'm dull. I'm not sharp at all. SimpliSafe will be the first installation in my new home right before all the TVs that get sent to me. And a couch.
I agree. SimpliSafe.com/foreplay. You get 40% off. It's just hard to digest everything right now. It's hard to imagine Tiger Woods playing a golf tournament next week with his son hitting shots. We're going to be able to break it down. We're going to see his swing speed. Is he hitting the ball 220 off the tee? Is he hitting it 290? Is he hitting it? Is he not even hitting driver? Is he just watching Charlie hit driver? Is he hitting stingers? Is he flighting it? I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going on. Is he going to hole out? Is his short game going to be dialed in? The whole thing is going to be. It's just going to happen. We get to witness it. We get to watch it. We get to consume Tiger Woods playing golf again on television.
It's a crazy time to be alive.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas is right.
Right before fucking Christmas, we get to watch it.
Merry fucking Christmas.
God.
Holy shit.
What the hell are we supposed to talk about now? We're going to talk about fucking Tom and his question about the golf or a golf gift.
I'm sure this question sucks.
How are we supposed to talk about that?
Read the question.
Oh, actually, this is a good one. This is very relevant. Tom, sorry to throw you under the bus there, pal. Tom, whenever I think of Tom, I think of Succession and that show.
Wham's Games?
I don't like Tom.
You don't like Tom Wham's Games?
Would you? I don't like any of the characters, to be honest with you.
Oh.
All right, I think that's fair. But if you they have comedic value, Tom.
Yeah, no. I say I don't find it easy to root for any of the characters, but I enjoy them as television characters, certainly. But I don't. Almost every show I watch, there's someone that you genuinely like and you hope good things happen to them. Succession, I don't actually like any of the characters.
I would say the only person I genuinely like in that show is Tom. I hope for his success.
You don't like Greg?
They've made Greg too Greg in this season.
Yeah, you pointed that out to me, and I can't not pay attention to it.
They read way too many of the tabloids about why people like Succession, and then they wrote in all of those things into this season, oh, I love how Greg is so quirky and he's neurotic, and one of the young kids that have gotten thrown into this crazy world, and he can't finish a sentence, and now he literally can't finish a sentence in any scene that he's in season 3.
It's true.
At one point, he literally says, "On this thing on the internet, they have a couple people that are doing this thing on Twitter," and you're just like, "What? You know what the internet is, dude? What are you talking about? You don't know how to read a tweet?"
I agree with you.
If you go back and watch the first season of Greg and second season, he's just very naturally Greg. And I guess that's a problem with all these shows that gain popularity. You know what I mean?
Right. It's 7 seasons into Seinfeld when Kramer came came to the door, people are clapping. They're like, yeah, all right, Kramer's coming through the door.
Right, exactly.
It just happens. When you have a popular show like that, they're going to play up the popular stuff. So, but I agree, Riggs, you are right. They're all pretty bad people, but some of them are funny.
They just kind of suck. Anyways, Tom says, would you rather have Charlie Woods be the youngest player to ever win the Masters or have Tiger Woods be the oldest?
Tiger Woods.
Both, but Tiger.
There's something about, because all right, so if Charlie becomes the youngest to win it, now we're talking empires.
Yeah, you're talking empires, but I think you can have both without Charlie being the youngest. I think you have Tiger finish off his story. We're not done with Tiger yet. He needs to finish off his storyline, regardless of what happens to Charlie Woods, because if he doesn't finish off his storyline, the empire is not as big as it should be.
No, I think Tiger, and I love him, and I hope he wins another one. I hope he is the oldest, but he has set a legacy that is going to be, it will not be tarnished whether or not he wins one again.
But it'd be that much better.
But it is pretty good right now.
It's not bad.
But if Charlie ends up winning as the youngest, then we were talking a surefire empire.
Right.
Because then he's done it before anyone else was able to do it. And now the expectations are there and he is rising to the occasion.
My original instinct was Tiger for obvious reasons. But the more I thought about it, to what Trent's saying, if Charlie Woods wins and is the youngest player to ever win the Masters, we are now guaranteed another 30 years of at least additions to and way more chapters and pages in the book of the Woods family's involvement and domination in the world of golf. Whereas if Tiger Woods wins as the oldest, that could be it. That could be like the last page and the last chapter. Whereas we are just, if Charlie Woods wins the Masters at like age 19 or 18 or whatever, we are just guaranteed, like, we're doing it all over again, basically. And I don't know how you can say no to that.
Right. Like if Charlie wins as the youngest, then there will be kids who will grow up and say, oh, I didn't know Charlie had a dad. His dad's Tiger? Who? They're like, we're more focused on Charlie because Charlie is now happening and he is the best golfer on the planet and he is winning these tournaments at ages when he's not supposed to. And now he's the head of the family. And passing that on would be so cool to watch.
I want to switch my answer to Charlie.
I think it's Charlie. Right? I think the answer is Charlie.
That's cool. It'd be fucking awesome.
Lurch, are you on the Charlie train?
No, I'm still Tiger.
All right.
Well, you're an idiot. So.
Well, Tiger's just like the legend of our childhood. So I just root for more and more of his success. I think that as you get older, you think I'm not as into, players as much as I was, as a kid. And so I just want Tiger to be of my generation and to win as many tournaments as he physically can before he retires. I love Charlie. I'm rooting for him. But Tiger's Tiger to me, and Charlie will be, he'll never be that, I think, in my eyes. Yes, it'll be awesome to watch him, but I root for every ounce of Tiger Woods' success.
Yeah, I mean, I apologize for calling you an idiot because it's hard to say that that's a wrong answer. But I just don't know how you say no to just another generation of what Tiger Woods did, and he would be involved, and Charlie would just be really, really cool. But the best part is that both of them are playing together next weekend, and we get to just witness that as, fans of the game, fans of being alive on planet Earth, and that's going to just happen. That hasn't happened yet, and it's going to happen. It's very exciting, gentlemen. It's very exciting. It's a little Christmas gift. We're in the Christmas spirit here. I think that's all I need. That's all I have. That's all I want to end the show on. It's been a great show. Christmas. We've been giving out winners, sweepstakes stuff, and then all of a sudden we were given a winner by God himself, who just allowed us to witness Tiger Woods play golf on television again. Something many people thought, worried, were scared would never, ever, ever happen is going to happen without Tiger missing a single PNC Championship. It's very exciting.
Another reminder that one of the most underrated Christmas movies of this season is Four Christmases. Give it a watch. It's on HBO Max. Fucking hilarious.
Did we talk about that the other day, Frankie?
We talked about it last year, I thought. Or maybe you said you brought it. We definitely brought it up last season, but maybe you said you watched it recently.
Okay. But yeah, fantastic movie. Honestly, starts much better than it closes in my eyes, but the first If it's an hour and a half long, the first hour is off the charts good. I mean, Vince Vaughn he's a superhero. I mean, his comedic prowess is off the charts, and it's a must watch all the way through.
Yeah. And I need deodorant, so I got to get out of here. I got to go downstairs and get some.
Watch the Bandits episode 2.
Yeah, tonight.
Yep.
Pacific Dunes.
I play well there, man. I want everyone off my back after this one. People were being mean after the first one. I brought it to Pacific Dunes, and there's no better feeling than bringing it at an all-time golf course, which I don't think I ever had.
None.
And it was a good feeling to finally have it. Every time I played fucking Pebble Beach, I've shot the bed. On the 7th hole at Pebble Beach, I just can't get that ball off the tee box. I just dribble it right off. I chunk it.
Just always right below your feet.
It chunks it right off the fucking tee.
8th hole though. How about the 8th hole at Pebble Beach?
A couple pros would take that. You know,
a lot of pros would take that.
3-wood to the end of the fairway, 6-iron into the wind, left to right, back of the green, missed the putt, but you tapping for a par. You kidding me?
Take that every day of the week.
YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. You can catch up on the first episode if you missed it, which is Banded Trails. We got Pacific Dunes, and we're going to keep rolling them out, so you don't want to miss any of them. Check it out tonight, and go sign up for the Arizona Bowl if you have not. The Scramble, okay? BarstoolSports.com/Arizona Bowl. Yes, Frankie?
Also, I want to do, for anyone that's listened to this show all the way through the end, if you're listening to this right now, which you are, you're listening to this right now, which is always crazy. I'm talking straight to you because you have to be listening to this if you're hearing it.
The listener, yeah, they have to.
Yep. Go right when we're about to end in 5 seconds. I want to do that unsubscribe, resubscribe thing and 5 stars on our podcast because I see all the other podcasts, like Part of My Take, they do it. Yeah. And they get these huge pushes to shoot them up the ranking, shoot them up the charts. And we never do our pushes. We do our pushes for merchandise and for signing up for the Barstool Classic. And we never do pushes that it's so much easier to just click a button in iTunes, unsubscribe, resubscribe, 5 stars, leave a nice review. You can talk about I don't know, space, my taint, anything. Like, I don't give a fuck as long as you write 5 stars. I mean, let's see how impactful our listeners are to just shoot us up the rankings all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we should do that every fucking show. After you listen to one of our shows, if you're one of the champion listeners of this podcast, at the end of each show, you should unsubscribe, resubscribe, 5 stars each time. You know what I mean? It should be a fucking routine. I mean, the best podcast on the planet, right next door, I can hear them fucking recording. They do it every show.
Yeah.
Part of my take.
They're smart.
They're smart people.
I didn't know that. That's a good idea. Yeah. I mean, fucking let's do it. Let's get people out there. Please subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe. 5 stars. And then like Frankie said, you can write whatever you want. I don't care.
Write whatever you want.
Of me, like, Frankie, Trent, Lurch.
Totally.
We've never really asked about that. And we have really good numbers and we have good like chart numbers and 5 stars and the whole thing, and that's just people genuinely rating us with us never fucking asking for it. Now we're trying to change the game on our end where we're trying to force you to do that. So it should be even more.
Yeah, I like it.
It should be even better.
It's a good idea.
Let's see if you listened to me and you made an impact. I want to see if we see a difference from week over week.
Free TVs, reviews. We just got a lot of requests.
I do need a TV. I need a couch. I'm here in this supply chain problem with the couches. Okay. Bro, people tell me I'm going to have to wait 9 months for a couch. That's unacceptable. So someone's got to talk to me about that.
Let's have a great weekend, everyone. Let's power through. Let's really have a good weekend. Let's be excited that we've been given these great gifts for Christmas, which is Tiger and Charlie Woods coming up and many other things. We'll be back on Tuesday. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.